today we have a special guest with us. Her name is Rajvi, and she is a product data analyst in the financial services background. She's worked in various different companies in financial services. She currently holds a master's in quantitative finance from University of Buffalo, and as well is the founder of the Data Mentorship program. Welcome. How are you today?
Good, Hubert. How are you?
Good, good. It's great. It's
Thanks
great
for having me here.
yeah, for sure, for sure. It's great to chat with you. I think we're gonna dive into a bunch of different topics, and the viewers can learn what your journey was and what additional things you are working on.
I'm
So
excited to talk everything about mentorship with you today.
awesome, great. Let's get started. How did you get into your career, basically?
It has definitely been a journey, but a journey that has definitely been very memorable for me. So, like you said, I have a master's of quantitative finance from University of Buffalo and also an undergrad in finance. So, financial services has always been something that has been pretty close to my heart, and it was my mom who kind of suggested that I should get into finance when I was trying to decide my major back in the day. The first time I started coding was in one of my final semester classes during my masters, and I remember very well. The class was called Forecasting in Our Studio, and we had our professor was teaching us how to forecast mutual fund and share and like S&P 500 prices, mutual fund prices in just using our studio. The first line of code I wrote and the first time I ran a code, I felt amazing. It was one of the I fell in love with coding just right at the start, and it has been with me since then. Once I graduated, I kind of knew that I want to do something that involves coding, but I definitely want to stay in the financial industry because that is something that I'm truly passionate about. I think everybody should be financially independent, no matter who you are, where you come from. The goal is definitely to become financially independent at some point in your life. So the job that I have right now as a product data analyst just lets me do exactly what I had hoped and dreamed for. I support a financial services company, as you mentioned, and I work in data. I try to solve business problems. I try to understand what kind of problems our clients have and use data to solve them and help the organization build strategies and solutions just using data. And just last year, I think it was May 14th of 2021, when I decided that, you know what, let's just start a data mentorship program, because mentorship is something that is pretty close to my heart as well, including finance. And I've been very grateful to have some really good mentors throughout my career. And when I just like look around and see the new people joining data and trying to get a job in today's economy, I feel like mentorship is something that people can definitely benefit from. So hence I just dove in and started the mentorship program.
Great. No, that's awesome. Like that's why we are partnering up today to share
and I know
opportunities.
just from the conversations that we've had, we do share similar values and a similar mission. So I'm just let's just talk.
For sure. Maybe before we dive into sort of like what is the data mentorship program, right? Let's talk a little bit more about what you have a lot of experience in finance with data, right? And finance and data analytics, right? Like for folks who are like also interested in that, like what does that really look like, as a product data analyst in a company like that?
Yeah. Right. So the data mentorship program is not just specifically for folks in finance. It's a broad organization that kind of captures data industry, not a very specific area of the economy like finance or tech. So the data mentorship program is in like the reason why if I have to talk about the mission, for a minute, the mission is to provide distinguished mentorship to people so that we can make data careers accessible. As I mentioned, I was in Masters in Quantitative Finance program, which when I joined the program, I realized that the diversity in that program and also in financial industry is pretty low. There were not a lot of women, specifically women of color in finance, and there still isn't. The progress has been pretty slow. There has definitely been progress, but it has been pretty slow. Similarly, if we look at data industry, the diversity in data industry is also not that great. There have been, I can pull up some stats for you and let you know that the gender pay gap, just the hiring trends in data and tech has been has not been great historically. So what the data mentorship program is looking to do is to promote diverse talent and make data more diverse for people that may or may not have access to like a formal mentorship program that usually companies and universities offer. So for example, one of the best examples that I can give, and I tell this to people that I talk to, is we have someone in the program who has been an Amazon warehouse worker for the last X number of, I think for the last 10-15 years, and now he's interested to get into data. And just being a warehouse worker, he has very strong supply chain experience, and he knows the ins and out of what a good supply chain process looks like. Bringing that experience and adding a data layer to it after coaching, after through mentorship, and when he came to the program, his goal was to get a job in data. He worked with a mentor who helped him build a case on like giving interviews, finding out the best job for him. And recently he's still looking for a job, I believe, but he's been giving interviews, and there has been some progress in that space. That's what I want. I want that story to repeat itself multiple number of times. I want people that are coming from non-data, non-tech background to realize and know that data industry is open to every single kind of professional background you may have. Just because you don't know how to code should not stop you from applying to something like Amazon or Google or Facebook. You should definitely leverage your history and your professional background to get to where you want. And that's where mentorship comes into picture, and that's where data mentorship comes into picture. We're trying to provide that kind of support to people that need it and are looking to get into data.
Got it. So it sounds like the goal is really to, people who might not have the traditional background, right? But have interest to learn.
That's definitely, we're trying to make data careers accessible to all. So that's definitely that. The other big group of people that we get as mentees are people that have not been working for the last X number of years for various reasons. So people that are looking to re-enter the job market and specifically looking for data jobs, we have multiple success stories in that area as well. For whatever reason, they might not be like it's COVID or something else or parenting, building that journey for them so that they can give interviews confidently, they can look for, they can network with people in data and eventually get a job. I think that's where the magic is. So we have these two very big groups of people that have been applying, fortunately, and it's just very fulfilling to see them, to watch them succeed.
That's awesome. I don't know if you shared this yet, but how long has this been around? And how long have you been
so
running it?
We officially launched, I officially launched the program on May 14th, 2021. So we're coming up to 1 year. It's May 5th today. So it has been a year. We have we've had 4 different cohorts. That's what we call like a 3-month program.
Mm.
And the good news is that on May 14th, 2022, we are having our first data visualization hackathon, which
Wow,
kind of
it's
marks
awesome.
the 1 mark. Yeah, I mean, it's like we have people coming in from different parts of the world, and it's going to be a fun hackathon for sure. So,
Got it.
that's how we're going to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. And
And
going forward, the mentorship program will be 2 months.
and you said that that the hackathon is coming up, right? May
Yes,
14th. Cool,
yes.
cool. Is there a link or something? Maybe we could share it later.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean,
yeah.
the applications are unfortunately closed right now.
Oh, okay.
So we can definitely share a link for people that are interested to just watch presentations that we'll be having, I think, later in the day around 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. I would be happy to share the link with your viewers.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's talk about. I think the mentorship has a lot of value, right?
Yeah.
I think it really bridges people and then really inspires people, right? And wants
Yeah.
people to really help them and build their career the way they want it, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe you could share a little bit about how your mentorship program is really unique, right? Or is different other mentorship programs.
Yeah. So mentorship program in general, doesn't matter which mentorship program we're talking about, they are built to connect talent and organizations. They're built to be a bridge of like people who have the resources to uplift the talent that the community might have. So that is still inconsistent with what we have or what we are aiming to provide. The difference that I would love to talk about that data mentorship program specifically talks about is that we have resources for new mentors as well as mentors that have been mentoring people for a while. So we want to make sure that not just the mentees, but also the mentors are succeeding in the kind of relationships they build with their mentees, the kind of resources they provide to their mentees, or the kind of leadership qualities that they show to their mentees. Because mentorship at the end of the day is an equal give and take. It's not just mentees trying to get a job or get to the goal. It is also about mentors trying to build network, trying to build their own brand, trying to build their leadership skills in general. So we provide resources. The other thing that we do that data mentorship program is focused on is networking. I truly believe in the power of networking, and we've seen so many success stories, not just in the mentorship program, but just around us, of how strong relationships are and professional relationships are, and how they can be leveraged. So we also try to provide like very like opportunities for mentorship to both the teams, both the parties in the data mentorship program.
Got it. Got it. I think the thing that's stood out from that you mentioned was the power of networking.
Yeah.
Really, that's very important. Is it, so? How do you encourage and do that? Like, how does that sort of look like? Maybe
Yeah.
could
So
talk a little bit
the
more.
data mentorship program is 100% virtual.
Mm,
Initially, we were thinking of making this in person, but over the last 2-3 years since COVID, I think we've all realized how powerful Zoom, Google Meet, all of these virtual meeting stuff is. So
mhm,
networking also happens virtually. What we try to do is we try to mix up people, like in the sense that uh, we try to bring diversity in the conversations that we have. So it's not just one-on-one networking. We bring up like we mix groups of people with different backgrounds and give them a topic to talk about. uh, and after the networking session is done, we make sure that each one of them are leveraging each other's professional network. And that's something that we encourage our mentors to do as well. We encourage our mentors to connect their mentees to different people that they might be knowing in the data world, so that it's not just a one-on-one networking that's happening. It's like the mentees kind of introduced to other people from the mentors network, other people from their peer mentees network. So that's how you build your networking portfolio. And you never know, some they say that you're just 6 people away from the
Yeah.
person that I kind of don't
Six,
remember what the saying,
six,
6 degrees
six
of, yeah,
degrees. Yeah, six
something, yeah,
degrees
6
from
exactly, yeah.
everyone in the world, basically. That's
Yeah,
what.
so you never know what might just work out, but yeah, that's what we are trying to focus on, is
Got it.
networking.
Got it. Got it. Great. It's awesome. Let's talk about okay, like the viewers are interested, right?
Mhm.
Like how can they get involved, or how can they apply for the program? Like what do they have to do, like
Yeah.
if they want to get involved in the mentorship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a LinkedIn page, we have a website, we have an Instagram page. So definitely reach out and connect with me. I'm happy to talk all things mentorship. If you One thing that we are focused on in the mentorship program right now is to build a very strong mentor network. We Till today, we've been very grateful to have advisors, mentors, and even like data leaders from all over the world to help us bring the mentorship program at this point, where we can, make sure that we are building on the global network that we already have. So my goal for this year is to build a very strong global mentor network that our mentees can leverage. So if I am in Australia and I'm trying to get a job in Canada, I can walk through this data mentorship program and connect with somebody from Canada, and they can help me coach move from one country to the other. That would be an ideal scenario. So if people that are listening to this podcast, if you're interested in signing up as mentors, we are definitely always looking for mentors. And I'll just make one point, Hubert. I think one of the things that we have seen is that people are kind of hesitant to be mentors. They are more willing to be mentees. And that's something that I'm trying to work on proactively as well. So one thing that I would love to tell the listeners is that your story matters. It doesn't matter how many years of data experience you have, how many years of tech experience you have, whatever your journey is, if you're sharing your journey with someone else, they have a map, they have a path in mind, or they at least have hope to kind of follow your path and have and providing that ladder or providing that kind of support to someone. I think that's the biggest gift you can give, and that's the biggest uh that's how you can give back to the community, right? So being a mentor just means that you're sharing your story, you're sharing your experiences. So I would recommend and definitely encourage people that doesn't matter what your job title is, doesn't matter where you're from or what your professional background has been like. If you have a strong story, you should definitely consider being a mentor.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So, but on the flip side, are you looking for mentees?
Absolutely. That I'm always like mentees, mentors, advisors, people that are looking to be speakers, people that are looking to volunteer for the program. Right now it's just me running the show, and sometimes it gets a bit too much. So always looking for volunteers and help from all over the world.
Awesome. Well, I think you have a really good mission. So
Thank you.
I'm sure
Appreciate it.
you'll connect with folks. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm happy to think about folks to connect you.
I mean, I would love to, like, I feel everyone has a very strong mentor story, or not, even if they're not a formal mentor to you, you have a story of someone that has helped you reach where you are. So that's what mentorship is about. And if you can be that person to someone else, why not?
Got it. Got it. I think there's another. Do you have to pay to participate? in this? Is there a fee
It's
connected
that's
to it?
I think that's the most important question. The entire program doesn't matter if you're applying as a mentor or a mentee, it's free. We are not even charging 1 cent to
Mm-hmm.
anyone. The only thing that we ask you to provide is time and proactiveness.
Mm-hmm.
If you are committing your 2 months to the mentorship program, that's all we want.
Mm-hmm. Did I guess on a rough scale, like if someone is committing those 2 months, how would time look like? Like,
So the
hours or per week or?
it kind of depends on who on what you and your mentee decide. Our
Mm,
basic recommendation is that you meet your mentee slash mentor twice a week. I'm sorry, every 2 weeks, not twice a week, every two
mm,
weeks for at least 45 minutes. If you feel
mm.
like you need to meet them every week, that's your call. Our recommendation is meet your mentor slash mentee every 2 weeks, at least for 45 minutes.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Great. 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 Well, that's awesome. Like, is there, I guess maybe to close it off, like, is there certain mentors or mentorship that really, impact you a lot, right?
Oof.
Because it really
Oh,
took you
yeah.
to this journey. And
Yeah.
I think it'll be great
I
to
have
share.
I can't even begin to like share my personal journey. But I will always, I think I've had multiple mentors throughout my career, but the best story I have to share is the very first mentor that I had at the age of 18.
Hmm.
I was not looking at data. I think back in the day, being a data scientist, data analyst wasn't even a thing. I
Hmm.
was interested to get into venture capital. I was interested to get
Hmm.
into like the startup world, to get into like angel
Hmm. Hmm.
investing and stuff like that. And I
Hmm.
met this person at an event, and he was a speaker there. So after his speech, I went up to him and introduced myself, and I said that I really want to work with you and get to know this kind of like venture capital angel investing universe that you are talking about, because I have no idea what that is. I am an
Hmm.
18-year-old uh, kid who has no idea what she's talking about, but I know I want experience. And he took me under his wing and kind of trained me through the entire process. He gave me opportunities that I would have never dreamed of. He gave
Hmm.
me he gave me honest feedback on what I should be doing and I should not be doing. And till today, he is somebody that I reach out to every time there is like a professional question I have, or every time there is something that I'm trying to work through. He has always been there, and he has been my biggest advisor over the last so many years. So I definitely owe my career to him. Um, Even though I'm not in venture capital slash angel investing, hopefully one day after like a few years, I would want to be there.
Hmm.
And it was him who this specific person who gave me that kind of like, made me fall in love with the entire VC angel investing universe. And he was my first mentor, and the one that has like the highest impact in my life.
That's awesome. I think that's when you really feel the power of mentorship. You want to help and mentor others, right? And
Agreed, agreed.
it's like chain effect.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And since then, since I met him, I've had mentors in different parts of your life. It doesn't just have to be your professional career. You have advisors, you have well-wishers, you have so many people
Mhm,
who are looking out for you and are willing to help you only if you ask them. All you have to
mhm,
do is ask, right?
mhm,
And personally, what I feel is that you can have mentor at your workplace, you can have a mentor in your university, you can have a mentor in like other specific part of your life. Every person will give you a different perspective. In the end, it's you who has to decide what you want to do.
mhm,
Your
mhm,
mentors will always have your back. And having that kind of knowledge or that kind of confidence that that you are supported by people that believe in you will take you a long way. So I think that it's a very powerful tool to have in just being successful in your professional life.
Got it. Got it. No, I think that's a really good way to close this podcast. Yeah. Do you have any other additional things to share
Um,
or add?
this has been a great conversation. I mean, I get very passionate when I talk about mentorship. So I'm just glad you gave me this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to see what people have to say.
Yeah. No, I really want to. We saw the perfect partnership match here that,
Yeah,
yeah, I can be a resource. So,
absolutely.
yeah. Well,
Thank you
it's
so much
great.
for having me.
Yeah, it's great having you. Have a good day. So,
You
talk
too.
to you
Bye
later.
bye. Bye.
Bye.